First fight I will be analyzing in this video is from UFC 236 and is Khalil Roundtree Jr. versus Eric Anders. The fight was pretty one-sided, but the thing I'd mainly like to focus on was the Muay Thai style of fighting that Khalil used in this fight. Jason Herzog was the referee for the fight, and according to John Anik, in preparation for the fight, Khalil spent some time in Thailand learning Muay Thai, and enjoyed the training there so much that he moved his entire fight camp and now exclusively trains in Thailand. The fight started off with Khalil advancing in a Muay Thai stance, and that stance means bouncing lightly off your lead leg and planting your back leg. The Thai training showed quickly, as Khalil led off with a lightning-fast lead leg kick off the bouncing leg. He also threw heavy boxing combinations and did not land much with his hands at first. While he didn't land many strikes with his fist at first, it didn't matter because Roundtree let off 4 hard leg kicks in a row that lifted Anders' lead leg off the ground with every single one of them. Anders did the smart thing and tried to disengage and regain his footing to start throwing some offense. Roundtree read it though and followed him, not allowing Anders to recover and slammed him with 2 more massive leg kicks. By the end of the first round, the damage was done and Anders' leg was damaged so bad, his movement slowed down and he could not plant his leg to throw punches or kicks. In the second round, Khalil knew he had his opponent hurt. Started to advance more and more. Roundtree started picking his shots with boxing combinations and continuing to slam the right leg with more kicks. Khalil then hit Anders with a straight punch and knocked him down early in the second. Khalil never let up in the second round, knocking him down 3 more times with a counter hook and an advancing combination that ended in a left hook, almost stopping the fight. He also hit him with a single hook in the center of the octagon that knocked him down with a minute left in the second. At the start of the third round, Khalil was strongly in control of the fight. Roundtree really started pressing Anders in the third round. He used feints to open up leg kicks and boxing combos, knocking Anders down 1 more time, and the fight surprisingly went to a decision, with Khalil winning by unanimous decision. The story of this fight was Khalil Roundtree's extreme domination and skill, showing phenomenal Muay Thai skill and advancing in skill since moving to Thailand. The fight I'll be covering was the co-main event at UFC 236. It was Calvin Gastelum versus Israel Adesanya. The fight was extremely even and showed the skills of both Israel and Calvin. The story going into the fight was while Israel had the striking advantage, being an elite kickboxer and former kickboxing champion, Calvin had the grappling advantage, being an All-American wrestler in high school, as well as having extremely heavy hands with one-punch knockout power. The fight started off with Israel trying to analyze Calvin's movements and pick shots, but Calvin came forward, jumping into the pocket since he had a reach disadvantage, and throwing heavy boxing combinations, knocking down Israel early in the first round. Adesanya got up quickly though, evading the follow-up punches that Calvin was throwing and getting back out of range. The rest of the first round, Calvin kept throwing heavy boxing combinations, with Israel evading most of the shots but getting hit now and then. Israel was picking his shots during the first, hitting a few counters and analyzing Calvin's movements and strikes, but Calvin also had great head movement, blocking most of Israel's offense. In the second, Israel started to take over a little bit, knocking Calvin down with a straight right hand and keeping him at range using his reach advantage with jabs and as well as straights. He also used kicks to the leg and kicks to the body. The third round was extremely even, Adesanya getting in his range and hitting Gastelum with an impressive spinning elbow that was perfectly on target, as well as Calvin hitting heavy boxing combinations and scoring a takedown. Israel barely won the third round. He outstruck Gastelum and it barely won it for him. Gastelum took control in the fourth though, hitting Izzy with heavy boxing combos and stunning him with a boxing combo that ended in a head kick, winning him the round. Going into the fifth, the two fighters were even on the scorecards. Adesanya pulled ahead though, keeping Calvin at range and hitting him with a front kick to the face, as well as an attempted guillotine choke and triangle choke submission. Once back on the feet though, Israel started hitting Calvin with huge punches, knocking him down 3 times in the final minute. The fight still making it to the final bell somehow. Israel ended up winning a unanimous decision in one of the best fights in UFC history. All credits go to UFC and Zuffa LLC. John David Mercer from USA Today. And Josh Hedges, an employee of Zuffa LLC.